money for 180 days, they are holding an interest-free loan funded by you, the merchant who earned that money through honest work. Their terms of service allow this. You agreed to it when you signed up. Most people never read those terms. That's story 2.
Now we get to the one that genuinely made my blood boil, because this is not an algorithmic problem. This is not an overzealous automated risk system. This is a company that deliberately, systematically, and repeatedly defrauded small business owners for years until the federal government stepped in and made them pay it back. In July of 2022, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, filed a lawsuit against a payment processing company called First American Payment Systems and 2 of its sales affiliates. The case was simple. First American had built a machine for trapping small businesses. Here's how it worked. Their sales agents would cold call small businesses, restaurants, retail shops, service businesses. They'd promise unbeatable rates, monthly fees as low as 0, and most importantly, they would verbally promise, you can cancel anytime, no fee, no problem. Sounds great, right? Except when the merchant actually signed up through First American's online enrollment system, they were signing a 3-year contract with a $495 cancellation fee buried in the fine print. The FTC found that First American deliberately designed their online enrollment to hide these terms. The key details, the 3-year commitment, the cancellation requirements, the automatic renewal clause, were buried in dense documents behind multiple hyperlinks. Not on the main screen, not where anyone would see them. Many of the targeted business owners had limited English proficiency. Sales were conducted in their native language. The paperwork was only in English. They trusted the salesperson's word. And that word was a lie. But wait, it gets worse. When merchants figured out the trap and tried to cancel, First American hit them with that hidden $495 fee. Some merchants refused to pay it. They called their bank. They put stop payment orders on the debits. And then, and this is the part that the FTC called out specifically, First American kept debiting their accounts anyway. But they changed the company name on the transaction. If a merchant put a stop payment on First American Payment Systems, the charge would show up under a completely different name, one they'd never seen before. The FTC called these zombie charges, charges that kept coming back even after merchants tried to kill them. This went on for years across thousands of businesses. The FTC ordered First American to pay back $4.9 million to harmed businesses and to stop its deceptive practices. And as of February 2025, the FTC sent checks to 5,588 small businesses, along with claim forms to more than 16,000 additional businesses who had enrolled with First American between 2017 and 2020. Nearly 22,000 businesses, all victims of the same scam. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but First American isn't Stripe or Square. This is a smaller company. This wouldn't happen with a big name. But that's exactly the mindset these companies are counting on. Because the truth is, the big names, the aggregators, can legally do things that are just as damaging through perfectly legal contract terms. And the smaller regional processors, some of them are worse than First American. As recently as May 2025, a law firm filed a federal class action lawsuit against another processor, NABCW, doing business as CWA Merchant Services, for systematically charging merchants undisclosed early termination fees and, in some cases, withholding merchant funds entirely without notice. The pattern never stops. Different names, same playbook. And that's story 3.
3 stories. 3 very different companies. But there's a common thread running through all of them. The business owner didn't understand who they were actually working with, or what that company had the legal right to do to them. So let me give you the education that nobody gave these business owners before they signed up. Number 1, Understand the difference between an aggregator and a real merchant account. Stripe, Square, and PayPal are aggregators. They own the merchant account. You are a sub-merchant. That means they can freeze, hold, or terminate access to your funds based on their own risk calculations, without notifying you first, without explaining themselves, and sometimes without being able to even tell you when you'll get your money back. A dedicated merchant account, set up through a licensed ISO or payment professional where you are the actual account holder, gives you significantly more protection, more predictability, and more rights. Number 2, watch for these red flags in a payment processing contract. If a salesperson is promising you rates that sound too good to be true, they probably are. Ask to see the Interchange Plus pricing structure. Ask what the markup is above interchange. If they won't tell you, walk away. If you see a contract that runs longer than 1 year, ask specifically about the early termination fee. Make them put it in writing. Make sure it matches what they said verbally. If you see language about automatic renewal, understand that if you don't cancel in writing within a specific window before your contract ends, you could be logged in for another term automatically. And if you see anything about processing reserves, ask exactly what percentage they can hold and for exactly how long. Number 3, never keep all your eggs in one payment basket. If you are running a business and Stripe, Square, or PayPal is your only way to collect money, you are one automated risk flag away from not being able to operate, period. I recommend every business owner have a backup payment method set up and ready to go, whether that's a secondary processor or, increasingly popular, a cash discount or dual pricing program. Let me explain those for a second because this is where I spend most of my time. A cash discount program gives customers a discount for paying with cash, while card payers cover the processing fee. Done compliantly, the business owner pays little to nothing in fees and has far more control over their payment environment. Dual pricing, which is similar, displays 2 prices on your menu or register, a cash price and a card price. Customers choose. You don't absorb the cost. These programs have been transformative for the small businesses I work with here in Louisiana and across the country. Not only do they eliminate most of the fee burden, they also reduce your dependence on any single aggregator. Because when you're managing your own processing costs intelligently, you have more options. You're not just defaulting to the cheapest looking app. If you want a free, honest second opinion on your current processing setup, that is exactly what I do. I represent multiple top processing firms so I can match you to the right fit instead of selling you one product. The link is in the description. Because here's the bottom line. Your payment processor is not your friend. They are a financial infrastructure company with their own risk tolerance, their own liability exposure, and their own terms of service written entirely in their favor. That doesn't mean they're evil, but it does mean that you, as a business owner, need to understand the game before you play it. The 3 business owners in today's stories didn't know the rules. They found out the hard way. You don't have to. If this video changed the way you think about your payment setup, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. Every week, I cover topics exactly like this, real information about payment processing, merchant rights, and how small businesses can protect their cash flow and stop leaving money on the table. Next video, I'm getting into the hidden fees on your processing statement that you're probably paying right now without knowing it, and exactly how to read a statement so you can see what you're actually being charged. You're not going to want to miss that one. Until then, stay sharp, protect your business, and I'll see you in the next one.